there guys, welcome to the meat shop. Thanks for clicking on. This video is part of a special video series inspired by you guys. I've been asked before for a recipe or sausage book, which I don't have, so I thought I would share my favorite book with you, which is Home Production of Quality Meats and Sausage by Stanley and Adam Marinsky. It is my favorite book. I think it's got great information in there for beginners and experts alike. And to celebrate my favorite book, I reached out to Stanley Marinsky and he gave me permission to do Marinsky March. So we're going to do a recipe out of this book every day of March. And all the recipes and all the processes are right out of the book, which will be in the link below. That is, a link to the book will be in the description down below. So without any further ado, let's get into Marinsky March. Hey there guys, welcome to another day in Marinsky March, where we're doing a recipe out of Home Production of Quality Meats and Sausage every day in March. And since it's quality meats, I decided to do something that was a little different than the sausages we've been doing today. We are going to do ham molded, so in a mold, not covered in mold, off page 511. Out of Home Production of Quality Meats and Sausage. There's no write-up on it on this page, but the book has a great section on hams and the different ways to make hams, whole muscle hams, emulsified hams, molded hams, and all the different methods and stuff. So it's got multiple pages beforehand on hams and formed meat products. So there's lots of cool stuff in there you can do if you don't have sausage equipment, is the goal of this one here. So this guy, it's going to be a pork ham. It's super simple recipe. Anybody can make it, and it's a good one to start with because from here you can add layers. Like I make this and then I add a little bit of honey, parsley, and layers of lemon throughout, and it looks super beautiful when you pull it out of the mold. But you are going to have to get yourself some sort of mold. I got this guy off Amazon for, I think it was like under 20 bucks. And you can make all sorts of cool little things in this guy, like ham and different molded meats. You can make a head cheese in this guy if you wanted to. But basically how he works, I'll show you. And if you don't want to buy this on Amazon, they're pretty easy. You can make your own little thing at home. So basically you need a food grade container, something that's going to press down on it. So in this guy, it's a little spring loaded unit. So I'll fill this up with meat at one point, put this on, and that spring is going to put pressure on the meat in the chamber, and we put a little cooking lid on, and that's all going to get compacted down into here. That's going to be our mold. So you got to find something similar to that to do this recipe here today. So I got my mold here. I got the recipe calls for just 1 kilogram, 2.2 pounds of lean pork. So I just got a pork loin that I chopped up here. Super nice lean meat, super cheap. You can get pork loins on for sale. They basically give them away sometimes. And we're just going to add salt and cure right out of the recipe book, which I mixed up over there. So this recipe, dead simple, just salt and cure. So I've weighed these spices up ahead of time. The great part about the book is it gives it to you in grams per kilogram and teaspoons and tablespoons per pound. But all we do, mix this on here, guys. Cut lean pork into 3/4 inch or larger pieces. Make sure that there's no fat or connective tissue. Yeah, that's something you want to do with this. If you're making a ham, you don't want to be using shanks, and you don't want to be using the picnic that's got some extra connective tissue. You want to be using like lean meat out of the butt, lean meat out of the loin, or ham leg. Okay, we got the lean pork. We've cut it up into 3/4 chunks. Mix meat pieces with salt and cure. Pack meat tightly into a suitable container, making a stack about 4 inches high. Place for 3 days in the refrigerator. This is the curing process. So, easy enough. Just make sure that salt and cure covers every little bit of our pork. And we're going to pack it into a container. That's going to kind of bring some moisture out of the pork, and it's going to make its own little brine. Nice and mixed. Now I'm going to pack it into my container. You could put it in a backpack bag for a couple days if you want to before packing it in. You can put it in a stainless steel Schaefer pan with some just 5-pound weight on top of it. Whatever you want to do, but I'm going to pack it into this guy. But first I'm going to spray mine with some cooking oil. In the book here it says you can get some of these specific bags, cooking bags that line it, because when you do cook it, that lean ham is going to kind of stick to the inside. So I'm going to see if this pan will do it. That's what I've done in the past. Seems to not work too bad. Pack it in there nice and tight because you don't want any air pocket. You want to try and work the air out, just kind of like you're stuffing sausage. Get it good and worked in there. And over time, these pieces are going to bind back together to make, it's going to be like a sliceable product in the end. Okay, so I got it loaded into my little mold here, guys. So now I'm going to put my spring on top and see if I can compact it down. It is quite full. Uh-oh. Whoa, there we go. That's a lot. Oh, I missed a side. I might have her too full. Put that spring to work. There, do we get them all? There we go. Got them all nice and sealed. So that spring's going to put pressure on that pork, and that's going to bring it all together, and that salt in there is going to extract some protein. So I'm just going to leave him in the fridge for 3 days, and then we're going to cook him in a little water bath. So next time you see him, we'll be pulling him out to put him in the water bath. All right, guys, so our little ham in the mold has been sitting in the cooler for a couple days. I have some water just over here getting warmed up, but what I'm going to do is the ham basically kind of comes to this level here. So I'm just going to get the water just a bit above it, but not above the rim, so that there's water getting into our ham. Otherwise it's going to dilute the salt and whatnot. So I'm going to get it right up close to the rim, but not above the rim, so it's going into the ham. So there's the mold. The ham's about there, so I'm going to put water to about here, if that makes sense. Now in the book it says to cook at 90 degrees Celsius, which is just under a boil, for 90 minutes. But this little handy ham mold that I found on Amazon has a spot for a thermometer. So I can thread this thermometer in here, and now I'm in the middle of the ham. So that's a pretty neat little feature on this guy. I'll put him in the link down below, but now I'm just going to pop him into our pot of water with the thermometer inside. And we will be good to monitor it till it hits 72 for a fully cooked temperature, so 72 or 160. So let's go get him popped in the water. Okay, so here we are again at the famous stock pot. So I've got just the right amount of water in here. So when I set this in, yes, it'd be tough to get you the very best angle, but see how that's just under the rim. I'm probably going to add just a little bit to that to get it just a little higher. But see, it's not at the top, and it's probably above the ham there. But I'm going to add just a whisker more water, get her pretty close to a boil, and then when it hits 160 Fahrenheit or 72 degrees Celsius, I'll pull it out of there. All right, guys, so we've been boiling away for a little while here. Get my ham out of there. Ooh. And see what our temperature is. So, oh, you're all fogged up. But it says, I fogged you guys up. But it's cooked here. It says it's just over 70 degrees, so that's perfect. Yeah, it worked out to be about an hour and a half. So if you go by 90 minutes, I'm sure you'll be fine. 90 minutes in boiling water. But the next step here is to just pop our ham mold into the cooler and cool it down till tomorrow. Then we'll peel it out of our mold. All right, so it's the next day. Our molded ham is cooled down, so we'll peel her out of here and slice into it, see how she looks. She should be spring loaded. Boing. There we go. Oh, it's cooked in a little bit. Oh, there it goes. And here's our little bit of liquid in there. First look at the molded ham. Well, that looks pretty cool. Let's see if we can get it out of there. Ta-da! Look at that. Oh, that smells like ham. You could have put a couple drops of liquid smoke in here if you wanted to simulate the smokehouse flavor. But this is just a great one to get started on as a base layer to practice. From here, you can do all sorts of things. You could put a little pepper, a little garlic. You could do lime and parsley and honey, all sorts of stuff. But this is the foundation of a molded ham. But let's cut into it here and see how the cross section looks. All right, guys, cut off the end bit here. Nice and dense pork loin pieces. Wow, look at that. Wow, look at that, guys. We nailed it. That's perfect. That would go on a sandwich and it's made out of pork loin. Like, you can get pork so cheap for this. You don't gotta pay deli prices. All you gotta do is buy home production of quality meats and sausage and make it yourself. Looks so good. Let's have a bite. Oh man, there's a bite. Just like store ham. So good, so easy. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'm gonna make something out of home production of quality meats and sausage every day this month. Super easy recipes, wicked good book, highly recommended. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.